Howdy, it's Jim Morado, and this is very late May 2025. We're in Slade, Kentucky at the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, and we are going to see some venom extraction. We're going to see a snake show. We're going to look at some snakes. And I love this place. This place is incredible. It's a real kind of a hidden gem in Kentucky, and I enjoy going here as much as I can. We're going to see Jim Harrison, the main guy that does venom extraction, one of only a few people in the US that does this. He does it casually. By the way, he was bitten just a tad over a month ago, and he is back at it. So he might be one of the toughest guys in Kentucky, too. But anyway, we'll watch this. I might pop in and out to say something here and there. But for the most part, I'll probably keep my mouth shut and let you check out the Kentucky Reptile Zoo. Let me know what you think.
First off, we have our tropics building right here with snakes from all over the world. If you follow the deck back around, you'll get to our North America building with some snakes from around here. Right behind you guys, up that big ramp, is our cobra deck, dedicated entirely to cobras. We have our alligators out in front of it in those wooden pens. And then off to the side, down this gravel path, is our giants building with our largest snakes. And we have some turtles and tortoises out behind it. We also have a reptile talk happening at 3 p.m. in a couple minutes here. That's a 15-minute presentation about one of our animals where we bring it out for you to see. Right now.
Is that what this is? We saw this earlier.
That's copperhead.
Copperhead? Okay.
Yep. That's cool though. Fun.
Yeah. Kind of scary.
Yeah, most common snake down
Is it? Okay.
as far as venomous. There are timbers, but you don't see them as often as you see common. Most of the bites that we see involve people intentionally interacting with the snake. Occasionally there's accidental bites, but normally you got a stick and a something.
Does it hurt them to have? It doesn't.
No, but it's stressful for them
Yeah.
because they don't understand
Right.
what's happening. And Jim is big and scary and holding them by the neck. I'd be
Yeah.
scared too, right? But as far as physical harm, it doesn't harm them. The movement of a snake's head and jaws is extremely flexible. I mean, you probably know snakes follow their food whole. In order to do that, all of the joints are basically cartilage connections, so each joint can spread apart and move in a variety of ways. So no shape that they're making while they're doing this is any different than what they would do to feed.
Okay.
If it was a big meal. But we do try to do everything we can to make the rest of their life as calm and chill and stress-free as possible, because it is stressful for them.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Uber enrichment. You know, they're getting this thing happen to them, and then we need to make sure that they have time to rest and have food outside of that so that they can still do okay. And they do fine as long as you do that first and get them established.
Okay.
And like some of these, I can't see the snakes very well from where I'm standing, but a lot of these really big ones are 15 or more years old, and
You're used to it?
they're fine. Yeah, they're pretty hardy animals.
They live that long?
They do well.
They live that long?
Oh yeah.
We had a crate that would be 49 years.
Yeah, that was the oldest one that we at least have an idea how old it was. But generally 20 to 30 is not unheard of. So yeah.
Is this shed specific to diamondbacks or?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah,
each
so
one?
there are a few Mojave rattlesnakes in this building as well, but it's almost all western diamondbacks. The separate buildings are set up so that we can have the different climatic beats for each type of reptile that's in them. So this building also has like a dehumidifier in it because this is not a dry area. And these guys are from a place with lower humidity, so we dehumidify the building. Also, snakes that are from temperate regions will hibernate, and so we can cool the entire building down. Other buildings have only tropical animals in them, we keep those warm all winter, so it's a little bit easier to keep them separated.
Who's into cryptic? I got to see the one that the gentleman was taking around to the fairs. It was in a freezer.
The Minnesota Iceman?
Yeah. I was the first one to debunk it.
Oh.
That takes away
I
the
used
fun.
to. I used to.
It does.
Run around with James Randi and those guys.
Oh, I love James Randi.
He was a good guy.
Yes.
Sweet guy.
An honest liar.
Yeah, he was the most,
I think that's it.
unless somebody called him out.
Not sure.
That's it.
Oh.
Okay.
Unless somebody called him out, he was always sweet. You know,
Uh,
I've never seen him get mad.
You can listen to him if you can.
He just said facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wrote him a letter before he passed away, and asked him for an autograph. He sent me a couple of autographs. I always admired him.
Well, I got interested in him because I used to be interested in Harry Houdini, and I could do. I used to be able to get out of straitjackets, but I just had to have my shoulders replaced.
Oh.
And 4 weeks ago, I got bit by a Jameson's mom, and I was in critical condition.
That was on the news. I saw that. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're doing better.
But the only reason I was in the hospital 14 days was we started antibiotics because of the shoulder being replaced so recently that they thought they, don't get an infection in prosthetic.
Oh.
This knee got infected. It was a big pain in the butt,
Oh.
but I really didn't need antibiotics.
Now,
Oh.
what did you get bit by?
The Jameson's Mamba. I was actually putting together, it wasn't during venom extraction. If you go to our Facebook, we put up a whole video explaining exactly what happened and showing me some of the stuff when I'm in the hospital.
Oh wow.
Gosh, that's a whole while of venom. Were you just
I was just putting a male in with a female, and the female shut out, and I went with a grab stick to grab her, and I wasn't far enough away from the cage, and I put the male facing that way. He came out, these two marks right there where the fangs were,
Oh my god.
and down here were the bottom teeth because it locked in. I just reached out and grabbed it, pulled it off, put it in a cage and secured it. Then I wasted time and possibly could getting a second bite. I didn't want one loose in there. So I chased it around a little bit, caught it, put it down, then called her, and I did a crepe bandage. You only do that with you don't put anything on pit microcytosis. It doesn't help. So I put a crepe bandage on, and she drove me up to the stop in Park in Stanton, and the ambulance met us there. Eddie Barnes, who was the judge executive, who was also a paramedic, came over there because he heard it called out, and he asked me what to do, and I said, start an IV, give me 5 vials of anti-venom and adrenaline. I said, and you're probably going to have to intubate me. I don't remember anything after the machine.
Really?
I kind of remember hearing the helicopter land. I do remember Kat taking the other anti-system. I do remember that. We gave him just enough to start treatment, and she took another batch up there so they didn't lose it and transfer it. And so we have a protocol.
Okay.
So, and we have an investigation of drug license. We actually import anti-venom from everybody from the San Diego Zoo, Louisville Zoo,
do you?
Cincinnati Zoo, and everybody.
Okay.
So I got my ID number when I was 18, and she does all the work. So, where about you guys from?
Oh, Lexington. Yeah.
Lexington? Okay. Yeah, I spent a lot of time up in Lexington. Dr. Duncan did my knees, Dr. Stone did my shoulders, and then I spent 14 days up there in ICU.
Sure, being in a medical facility counts as visiting the town.
Yeah. Not the
But
good
my
way.
parents also live up there, so.
Oh, okay. They live in Lexington.
Yeah, and I'll pipe in here once again. Feel free to watch the snake videos; they're great. But you wanted to say that how awesome was that? He does that so casually. It just seems like it's absolutely no big deal. Just kind of unbelievable. And you think of people like Steve Irwin, who would do their thing and make it look so effortless. And I know as I'm looking at these snakes in these aquariums, they're intimidating. I'm not a snake person at all. I admire them for what they are, but they do scare me. And the way he was just casually extracting that venom, it is a sight to see, and it's a rare sight to see. And I do know I've seen other videos of him doing that, where it's usually like a school group, and there's a plexiglass window there. There was no plexiglass window, but I felt totally comfortable with Jim and the staff there. They obviously know what they're doing. It was great hearing him talk about his recent bite, and he boasts that he has been bit 16 times, at least 16 times, I believe. So that's kind of crazy. If you look, and I didn't want to ask him about it, but there is a little bit of a finger missing. So he's a tough guy. That he's the real deal. A couple of things I wanted to mention. He brought up the name James Randi. He used to hang out with James Randi. If you're not familiar with James Randi, look him up. He was a famous magician slash skeptic, and he was a very open atheist, and felt that anytime somebody tried to say they had some sort of supernatural ability or power, he challenged them. And he had the Amazing Randy, the $1 million challenge. If you could, in a scientific setting, prove that you had supernatural powers, you got $1 million. A controversial person, obviously, and someone, I do, I'm openly Christian, and I'm not ashamed of that. But I admired the fact that he shut down a whole lot of people who were doing some bad stuff. But yeah, look him up. Look him up. He had some great bits on Johnny Carson, where he, where he debunked some people. So very interesting guy. And then also Jim, outside of hanging out with James Randi and extracting venom from snakes, he let me know he used to be a Muay Thai fighter back in the 70s. And that's another one. Look that up too. That's not some Vince McMahon promoted type of thing. Anyway, I enjoyed talking with him. I thought it was very kind that he chatted with us so long. I stopped taping after a little bit because we were having such a friendly conversation and a casual conversation. But I had seen on the news where he had been bit, and I was just kind of thrilled that he was back at it again. And it was a real treat getting to see that, and I don't think people get how big of a treat that is. Look at that guy. Anyway, again, I'm not a snake person. I hope you enjoy watching these snakes that I taped. More importantly, I hope you go to the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, buy your ticket, buy some stuff in the gift shop. They are a non-profit or not-for-profit. And I was reading an interview with Jim where I don't even think he runs this place, but he does not take a salary. He's pretty much living off of I believe a police officer type pension from back when he was also a cop. So this whole place is a labor of love, and they're extracting venom, kind of dedicating their life to science and the study of snakes. And that's about as cool as it gets. So they absolutely deserve your support. And I've been here a few times now, and it's never crowded. It's never as crowded as it should be. I've always felt very comfortable here. Ooh, except for when I'm looking at that guy. Look at him move around. Anyway, no, I've always felt very comfortable here. I did talk to a young lady who told me that if anybody ever left one of the enclosures unlocked, they were fired. That was a policy there, and as far as she knew, that had never happened. So it's a very comfortable setting. I felt very safe. And they got these guys too. Look at that. In the gift shop, by the way, they sell all sorts of cool stuff, and I am a sucker for the kind of stuff they have in their gift shop. They have shed skin keychains. You can buy a shed rattler or a shed rattle from one of the rattlesnakes. You can also they do the thing where the snakes make paintings.
Oh yeah, I see the one on there.
And those are things that I have bought. I love that kind of thing, and I definitely have those in my guest room. If you come to my guest room, you'll see those items on display. I think that's really cool. But yeah, definitely drop some coin in their gift shop. They have other kind of sponsor opportunities. You can donate some money and be the kind of adoptive parent of one of the critters for a year. They've got that kind of stuff going on too. And I'm sure if you wanted to do some sort of donation type thing, they would definitely work with you and appreciate that.
A green anaconda.
And they have giant snakes here too, by the way. Something to think about. As we chatted with Jim, I did want to mention, I think he's been on several TV shows, National Geographic type documentaries, and he even said, I don't know how public, he would want to be about this, but he did say that he had been approached about doing reality shows here at the Kentucky Reptile Zoo, and he just did not, I don't think he liked the whole scripted aspect of, quote, reality shows. I think he told them if it was going to be a reality show, it would be a real show without a script, without any sort of fake drama, and that had caused some potential people to walk away. And he did not care. He said he really, didn't need that in his life, and they could probably go and make another reality show somewhere else without him. So yeah. Man, when these guys move, there's something scary and beautiful about it. But yeah, they're so animated. They're so
That's where they extracted the venom right there.
yeah, just those little head movements. I have another video put up on this YouTube channel showing the Kentucky Reptile Zoo. Check that out too. I think I've got a couple, so check them out. There's various ones too. Go to the Kentucky Reptile Zoo Facebook page and look at theirs too. We're about to see a snake show. A young man is going to tell us a little bit about a snake, and I wanted to go ahead and include it on here. So check that out. Let me know what you think.
I don't want you to get bit. we never show the venomous during the death reptile talk. I don't want that. That's all right.
We might have some more people join us, but they're still looking at the snake.
Okay. Oh, looks like they're coming. Okay, sorry for that.
It's a king snake.
Oh.
A king snake.
Are you okay? Hi guys, come here.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Yeah, here's my favorite king snake here. Kentucky Reptile Talk starts. Hi guys, welcome to Kentucky Reptile Talk at 3 p.m. Reptile Talk actually. So my name is Yuan Chun. I come from China. So I'm the one of the interns working here to reach my future career goal, the herpetology keeper. Today, I showed you guys is a snake, but that's a king snake. So his the true species name is the speckled king snake, and his name is King Georgia. So he's my favorite king snake here because he is the most gentle guy. That's the only reason. Because generally, king snake you cannot say they are red, they just more hungry than other snakes. Let's talk about a little bit about king snake. So there's 24 species in the United States was the king snake. So probably if you guys know a little bit about the king snake, you will see like California king snake, Great Banded king snake. They all subspecies with this guy. In the Kentucky, we have one king snake called the black king snake. That's the more black than this guy. And this guy that's the guy I possibly will think it's my favorite color of king snake because it have the dark dorsal with yellowish spots on the back, and also the yellowish belly is making them like more lightly. So that's why it's my favorite color mode. So that's why I love this guy. So king snake, as its name, they are the snake of king. But it doesn't mean they are the largest guy or the most strongest guy. But because they name king snake, because they eat other snake. So that's so especially they can eat a non-venomous snake and even venomous snake. So they can immune the native kit viper in their natural habitat. So like a copperhead, cottonmouth, they can be their food. So in speckled king snake, because they native in the South United States,
which more close to Missouri area. So in that state, there are many copperhead here, so they hunt them. So they hunt the copperhead actually. But the so funny thing is like copperhead can be hunted by other like different king snake. In Kentucky, copperhead be hunted by the black king snake. So don't think that copperhead are very powerful snakes. They are very food for other animals. So they can, as I said, they can immune like the local pit viper's venom. So that means even copperhead bite them, but their venoms are useless for them, so they can defend them. But although they love eat snake, but they generally still can eat other stuff such as small mammals, birds, small reptiles. They just like more prefer to eat snake. So that's why, like sometimes I hold the other snake, I will not hold this guy immediately because they will think, oh, the food is coming because you have like a snake smell. So that's why king snake are more easy to bite someone because they just think like you give them food, so they are more hungry than other snakes. So they native in the open forest area such as the savanna and like the open grass area. They are very active snakes, so unlike the python and the boa, they are ambush predator, which means they are most spend time sit and wait for the prey. The king snake, they are more active to search the prey, like the cobra. So because they are the family of the colubrids, so they are more active to try to search the prey, and then they active during the daytime, like right now. So that's why you guys can see its eyes have more round than like the night hunters. Because night hunters, if you guys see the vipers, they are like the purple vertical line when the daytime. That can reject some strong sunlight and they don't get hurt by their eyes. But the king snake, they are good vision on the daytime. So they rely on their vision and also use their tongue flock to search the prey. So they are like the same strategies with hunting with the python and the boa. So because they are non-venomous, so they will use the mouth to capture the prey and make the constriction. So they will use their muscle power to kill his food items, like and stop the blood vessels for the prey, and also finally the prey will be stopped bumping. So that's how they kill the prey. If they got try to hunt the venomous snake, they also with the same strategies, but they will like make the consume to make the pit viper to get become weak. That usually will spend like a couple times. Some guys I remember, I have saw the California king snake hunting with prairie rattlesnake. That spend like a couple hours until the prairie rattlesnake really be weak and they start swallowing. So that's sometimes they will fight a long time. So, but they are as I look at the King George, you will think he is larger, but they are more like a medium-sized snake. So the average size will be like 48 inches, but the maximum can be 72 inches. So it's kind of like a medium-size, but not also very small.
The spot is coming back.
When they got so they are not the top predator here. So like the raccoons, like the coyote, and like hawk, they all can hunt with this guy. So for the defense, they have a few strategies to avoid them to get the hunt. Firstly, they can vibrate the tails. You guys probably will think like a copperhead and rattlesnake can vibrate their tail, but the tail vibration is not only work with rattlesnake. This guy also can, but they just cannot like a rattlesnake to make a huge sound. But they still can vibrate the tail to scare you. And also, they sometimes will open the mouth, so try to look like very scary, but that's very effective to let the prey. They don't want to get hurt because like it's also they waste the energy if they got hurt because so that's why that can don't go in my shirt. So that they can try to scare with their predators. But if they unlucky to get captured, such as if I capture this guy in the wild, I hold its tail, their tails will do some poop. They will release some like full musk stuff, and that smell was very bad. So that will make you release it because the smell is bad, and also you don't want like musky stuff on your hands or like on the like prey's mouth. So so they can quickly to run it off. So that's the final way they will make the strategy. They move fast, so they generally can run it out. They're not like a python and a boa. They generally move slowly. They move faster than you think. So this guy, you usually can find them out like in the under the bush or like a wood log. So other decorates, even some humans under the house. So they usually will be finding also in agricultural area. Because they hunt rodents and like native kid viper, as they said. So they are harmful. They are not harmful for us. So they help us to control the rodent population and also can control the venom snake population. Sorry, don't use the powerful tool. Look at the snake. So you guys will always think why snake always use the tongue flick, right? So that's the fork tongue flick can help them to detect with the chemical information. So that chemical information when they do the tongue flick, the chemical information can finally from this tongue flick, fork tongues, and go into the roof of head called the drip cope organ. So snake will be determine what that stuff is. So that's a more identified stuff that they will get. And they can smell stuff. They still have the nose. You can see the small hole here. So with their tongue, eyes, and the nose, they can more identify like the prey or like the predator, which is they can. And also tongue flick can lead them to go into like such as the home or other stuff. So that's very useful for the all snake. They are not very like the python. The python have like the spur when they got the mating. So in the speckled king snake, they usually breeding season to the April to June. Where are you going? April to June. So they will lay the like a general range with one with 25 eggs. You guys will probably think not too much, and also they not provide parental care, so they just lay the egg. When they get summer, they were very active, so they will usually try to find the prey during that time, and in the night time they will back to their small mammals burrow and get hide and wait for the another for such as like the pit viper, because the pit viper usually will be active during the night time. So sometimes they also will be, you can find them during the night, but most of the active days still was the daytime. As you think, the king snake, they probably also they eat it with non-venomous snake. So that's the breeding season. They also will sometimes be dangerous with male and females, because for the speckled king snake, male will generally larger than female. So they sometimes will also hunt each other. Unfortunately, especially like a baby, they also will get hunted by the adult guys. So even the same species, they also will be hunting each other. You will also. So in the United States, they usually also will do the behavior called brumation. So the brumation is like the hibernation with like you possibly know the grizzly bear. So when the reptile do the brumation, they will slow their metabolism. Their digestive system will not work. So this guy in our winter season, we also provide a brumation temperature for them. So during that time, we don't feed them because that will harmful for them if we try to force to feed. And they will just like they still will be moved, but they just not very active during the summer season, because the reptiles, if they cold temperature, they don't have energy and their systems was not working very well. So they are just slow movement. Not like this time, he is very active during that. Alright, that's all my speckled pink snake talking. Do you guys have any questions? I will try my best to answer.
Thanks.
Yeah. Any question? Yeah.
So you know how you said it can get up to 72 inches?
Huh?
You know how you said it can get up
It can grow to 72 inches.
It can be, but it depends on individual. Like some guys, like human, can also very tall guy, right? But I cannot. So that's why it's still depend on like a species individuals.
So I was wondering, you guys have the black mamba in there. I was wondering if 72 inches was bigger than that.
No, black mamba are more bigger than 72 inches.
So are they, did you say immune to venom, or so they do get bit, or no?
They get bit. They can get bit by other like pit viper because that pit viper are not stupid guys. They also want to try to struggle it, but they can immune the native pit viper. Not means like they can immune the cobras, venus, or other different.
Like a copperhead, if a copperhead bites it, it's immune to it?
Yeah.
That was excellent. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and what a great presentation. Wanted to end this real quick. Here's the rattle that I bought while I was there. I think they sell them for $20. Again, it goes to a good cause. They got them in a cool display. But yeah, check out the Kentucky Reptile Zoo.